Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about why I choose this particular architecture object for my project and the emotional inspiration behind it. And this is my table of contents of presentation. And this is my overview. Actually, I been living in Vietnam since I was 19. Although I had to return to Korea briefly during the COVID period, so most of my early adult life was spent in Vietnam. So Vietnam is not just a place I visited, it holds a deep personal meaning for me. So that's why I wanted to choose a piece of architecture from Vietnam for this work. So, connection with Coraline. I was also deeply inspired by the film Coraline. In the story, the main character feels lonely in the real world and discovers a secret door to another world. At first, that world seems perfect, but it turns out to be a nightmare. This really resonated with my own experience. When I first came to Vietnam, I had a lot of expectations and even a bit of fantasy about what life there would be like. But the reality was quite different. There were cockroaches and rats, and the Korean community was so small so that everyone knew each other, and I always had to watch what I said. It felt isolating and at times emotionally difficult. So, just like Coraline, I found that the other world wasn't what I hoped it would be. So that emotional contrast between expectation and reality became the foundation for this project. I drew from the mood and themes of Coraline to create the textures and atmosphere for my character and environment. And here is feedback and design decisions. So I received a lot of variable feedback from classmates during our in-class discussion. Many people commented on how detailed and intense the diorama feels, especially the inclusion of things like the LEDs, cockroach, string, vein, and extra, and some said it made them feel small or overwhelmed in a good way. So which fits the horror inspired mood I was going for. There was some confusion about the camera starting position and the main focal point, which I'm currently reworking to make the visual hierarchy clearer. One suggestion I read was about making the heart glow and move, so I've added a parsing effect and soft lightning to the heart. Another suggestion was to animate the needle in the sky like a carousel and to have the lights on the floor flicker randomly, not in scene, to add a sense of instability and discomfort. I'm planning to use those ideas in the final animation. So the growing button eyes and fly needle design also got positive reactions, and I'm really thankful for that. I've broken the feedback down into some technology like this one. And here is the classmate feedback. Here's a classmate feedback, and here is like reflections and development. Back when I started A1, I didn't have a very clear concept. I just knew I wanted to express how my expectations of Vietnam didn't match the reality. At that point, the diorama was more of a love emotional sketch than a complete idea. But after submitting A1, I started exploring more references, and that's when I remembered the film Coraline. That movie deeply resonated with me. The main character escapes from a dual, lonely world into something that looks beautiful, but quickly becomes a nightmare. That duality between appearance and truth mirrored my own experience, experience of moving to Vietnam. I expected something vibrant and exciting, but what I found was often isolating, error, and emotionally complex. So referencing Coraline gave me a much stronger conceptual foundation. So it helped me enhance the emotional tone of the diorama, bringing in a creepy horror element. And here's my future plans. The feedback I received was really encouraging. People liked the button eye textures and the tiny environmental details like rats and cockroaches and the unsettling atmosphere. Some asked about camera positioning and lighting, great points I'm currently working on. So for my A2 development, I plan to is animate the needle in the sky like a carousel to enhance the horror move and add piercing lights inside the heart, making it glow and beat like it's alive, and introduce like lightning on the floor so that each light trickles at a different rhythm, and this will emphasize environment. So and improve the camera path to guide the viewer's eye directly to the main figure's face and heart, and finish all texture maps to match the unsettling body horror inspired the world. So this direction is more refined and expressive than A1, and I feel excited about how far it has evolved. And this is my UV map of bridge and the texture of that, but I didn't finish yet. And this is kind of textures, and that's it. Thank you for listening.